Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 375. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, with my son, Joe. What's up, Joe?
What's up?
And I'm with David. What's up, David?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Gloria? Hi, Gloria.
Hi.
Okay. What's up, Mike D?
Pardon me. Hello.
Hello. All right. So we are talking about Terminator Genisys. Did everybody see it?
Yeah.
Not yet. I didn't yet.
Gloria, you didn't see it yet?
Not yet.
Holy crap, the doctor was
All
in.
right.
The 11th doctor showed up.
5 minutes,
I know. But
which
I
was
just
like
haven't seen it yet.
pissed me off.
All right, listen, Gloria, we don't want to spoil it because we're going to be really going into deep territory. So,
All right. Are you going to
did you
do
want
it?
to?
Deep
one?
territory.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I'll drop out
All
of
right.
this one. Talk to you later.
All right. Take care. Bye for now. All right. There you go. All right, David, you want to drop out too or no?
I really don't care at this point. You guys can talk.
All right. Good. All right. So, Mike D, we want to hear what you thought, Mike D.
Well, I mean, I thought it was very entertaining. It was better than I expected it would be. And I'm sure we're going to get into a lot more detail. But I think the first half was a lot better than the second half. But it was still entertaining. I think that there were some people that were kind of miscast in the roles. The guy that played John Connor, I think, was kind of a douche, and the guy that played Reese was a little bit less of a douche, but still a douche nonetheless. And I think it would have been cool if they actually got Michael Biehn to actually reprise his role as Reese, and they did something with the time stream.
freaky?
Well, they could have done
How
something
freaky
with.
that would be.
Well, the time stream was displaced. They could have had the same actor play him, and you could have had like the older Kyle Reese with the younger Sarah Connor, and the girl who played Sarah Connor was cool, and Arnold was great.
Right.
And they actually
I
did a
thought that
good
was-
CGI. They did a good CGI job with the younger Arnold.
What do you think?
I thought it was good. Better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I went into it thinking that, weary, like it may suck, and then I thought it was like the greatest one ever. I really enjoyed it that much, actually.
Cool.
That I went to see it twice already. I mean, with them too. So it far exceeded my expectations. I like the fact that the timeline's all brand new timeline, multiple timelines, things created. Going back and forth. What I wanted to talk about was, we've seen the end spoilers. So my thing I was talking about on the show the other day was the fact that whatever Terminators were sent back are still going to go back. They're just going to appear in a new timeline. Okay? So the Terminator, the T-1000 Terminator, the cop that we've seen in the beginning, he was the one that went back in time to kill Sarah Connor's parents, and the Arnold Terminator did not engage him. He actually his objective was to raise Sarah Connor, to protect her, to keep her away from that Terminator, so until she can get old enough and they can get caught up with Kyle Reese.
The question I have is, why did he do that, though? That makes,
Why did he do it?
why did the Terminator just protect her?
Because he protected her because he can't engage the other Terminator and have a little kid around at the same time. Like, he had to, raise her, train her, so that way when they do encounter that Terminator, she can help out in case he gets destroyed.
But it's a Terminator's not here.
But his programming is to safeguard the future with John Connor. She had to live
Oh, yeah, that's right.
to mate with Kyle Reese.
Yeah,
So that was the main objective.
That's a Terminator's prime directive ever since Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Really, it was.
Right.
It really didn't give a crap about self-preservation. All it cared about was whether or not whether John, Sarah, or Catherine Brewster needed to survive, even at the cost of its own existence.
Right.
How come they hadn't gone back?
So the main thing here is that
How come they hadn't tried to go back and kill Sarah Connor's parents? apparently they're failing miserably at killing Sarah Connor or John Connor. So.
Well, this is what happened. Originally, they sent it back to kill Sarah Connor as a teenager.
Yeah.
Then they sent him in the future. They sent it to kill the kid.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the movies. I follow what's going on. I mean, I saw it when it first came out in the theater. I mean,
Right.
I follow what's going on with the series. I'm just saying the whole concept's kind of stupid, though, because it's like if they really knew that they were failing at this so miserably, they'd be like just like blanketly sending out Terminators to ensure that the job got done. And
Well, that's exactly what they did at the
they
same
would just
time,
keep doing it.
one after the other.
But we've only had like one or two Terminators show up. I mean, they should send a Terminator back that like is somebody that like like in Sarah Connor's childhood or something to like look like one of her kids or something, or one of her parents rather. I mean, I understand it's for dramatic effect.
Well,
I mean, the whole messing with time thing is kind of stupid because I mean, like they could just keep like going back and going back and going back and going back and going back till they got it done. I mean, and like.
So we don't know about the whole nature of the time, unless they've explained it a little bit more in Terminator Genisys. From what I could gather, the whole time travel thing in the Terminator franchise is pretty much just like a luck of the draw, pretty much where you end up.
From what I got was you saw that whole room of Arnold's, and one came out to go onto the machine, right?
Yeah.
From what I got, what we saw was we only saw one go in, but I think the whole batch of them were just dispatched at different time zones. Okay. Now, John Connor had said it best. Who the hell sent you back? Right? Because how can that be if I'm with Sky?
Yeah.
Damn, Joe muted himself. You're on mute, Joe.
You're muted, yeah.
What did you mean?
No, because I could hear you both times.
Oh, they didn't hear me though.
You were jumping timelines.
Okay. The whole point is that somebody else has a time machine in the future, and is either in the far future or something that's reprogramming these Terminators, and Skynet has no idea who it is, and John Connor has no idea who it is, and they're the ones that sent the Terminator back in Terminator 2, Terminator 3, So that's the whole thing. There wasn't even in the computer database, so Skynet can say, okay, this person does it, so I'm going to go back in time and kill them. That's why it's totally wiped from the databases. So I feel that...
There's a log. Somebody says, like, little inconsistencies. I'll try to find it here. So I watched it.
Well,
one of the things is how they said, if you've got to be pretty much skin... no clothes whatsoever when you travel back in time. Otherwise, you get jinx everything. How can that shape-shifting metal travel back in time if it was supposed to be all metal, even though it was that liquid metal?
Well, I mean, the Terminator thing is protected from... Oh, you're saying because
that
flesh.
Liquid metal.
It did have flesh. It did have flesh on it until it got like burnt off or...
Well, the T-1000 is really weird in that regard. They're really, even going back to Terminator 2, I'm pretty sure there really wasn't that. It was really hard to explain how he could have skin when he's just made of liquid metal. Maybe that's just how advanced Skynet's technology got with Terminators, but pretty much.
Yeah, I think it got so advanced that they could change the molecular level to skin and then not skin on a whim to fool the time machine. I think that's what it was. But my whole point is that all the Terminators that were sent already are still going to come. There's going to be a Terminator that's going to appear when John Connor is a certain age. Now, here's the tricky part. We last left him in 2017, all right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be a Terminator that's going to come in 1996, I guess, right? Or was it 95? When did they come in Terminator 2? What year was that supposed to be?
It was 92.
92. So there's got to be a Terminator that lands in 92.
Well, no, But no, there's not now because there's no Sarah Connor that existed in '92. Sarah Connor disappeared from '84 to 2017 now.
Yeah.
So see, the
Right.
first two films, like, they don't exist now because there was no reason
Right.
for them to happen.
Yeah, because they didn't even in 2017 they didn't even know who they were, but they did know who Kyle Reese was because he was
Right.
Prince, but he was like a 5-year-old.
See, the other
Oh,
thing
right.
would
They
be,
had that.
the other thing is it would be easy to like kill them because remember J.K. Simmons' character, the what's his name, O'Brien, the police officer. He
Right.
actually had a photograph and video of where Kyle and Sarah like appeared in the middle of the freeway. All you would have to do is, like, since that's electronic, they'd be able to trace that through Skynet in the future or whatever. Go back to that exact point where that happened. And just wait and pick them off as soon as they show up. Yeah, like sniper kill them or whatever. Run them over with a car. You can do any
Well,
of
that's the
that.
whole thing about Terminator. It's basically this whole game. This is all a big game of chess between Skynet and whoever is sending these Terminators back now in this new timeline. It's essentially move after counter move, and with the potential of this going on forever. With really,
Well, that's the whole thing. Every time a new timeline's created, a new future's created, or a new Skynet sending somebody back. So it's like rippling on itself, like over layers and layers and layers. So it can never get old. There'll always be something that's going to be overlapping.
Yeah, just total new.
Timeline thing.
Yeah. The one thing, though, is so now I guess John Connor created Skynet or brought back what Skynet was from the future into the past, and then he's still alive somehow. Skynet.
The easiest way to
I think I remember she got plugged in the neck. What if there's a hidden? Because that's the one thing I kept on thinking. Okay, when is that overriding techno virus going to take over Sarah Connor? Because how do we know he didn't plug her with that same substance, and it's just time delayed, or he didn't have a chance to activate it, but still, at some point that gets activated.
But now John Connor's not born now because they didn't mate. So even if they made it later, it's going to be a different person.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the exact John Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like different
she said
sperm
in
or
the
whatever,
movie,
so it's going to be a different John Connor. It's not going to be the same exact one.
When he said that's John Connor, she's like, that's not John Connor.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying.
I-
The exact time that he was conceived, right, didn't happen.
I know.
So there's going to be another batch of, like, it's hard to, they're not talking birds and bees here, but
Because there was
whatever.
an Easter egg at
Yeah.
the end of that movie anyway, so.
She may have multiple kids. She may have a couple. That could be a different timeline,
He
too.
said that
She could
can
have,
only
like, a boy
John
and a girl.
yet, and that her other kid is sending the Terminators back. Or something. What'd you say? When we were walking out of the movies. He said she had 2 kids.
Yeah, maybe she had John Connor and a daughter in this new timeline. And you don't even know about the other kid because in the new timeline they just kept it quiet.
It didn't even happen yet.
Well, it could happen now, I mean. What do you think?
The only thing I didn't really like about the movie is that Matt Smith was in it for 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes.
That's the part I like.
2 minutes.
No,
and
2 minutes, yeah, 2 minutes.
Matt Smith was in it for like not a long time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of Smith.
But I did like his scene. Though. That was like the best.
he's suffering from the Venom syndrome, where you're only in a movie for 5 freaking minutes.
I love that scene. He just goes like, "Who are you? I'm Alex. I'm Skynet." Or he didn't say
He didn't
Alex.
say Alex.
His
Oh,
name's Alex, though.
If he never said I'm Alex, he's like, I'm Skynet.
I know, but that's
You know he got the role from Mr. Clever. Never and Silver. They were watching that. They're like, oh yeah, that's what happened. They're like, he's absolutely going to be on board. You should be grateful to Neil Gaiman for that one, because the way he talked was like that too. Mr. Clever a little bit. I'm Skynet. It's like okay, but the way he looked, like his eyes popped out of his head when, like, at the beginning, like,
pure
his
evil.
eyes were like open, like Jesus. I'm like, how did your eyes open that big? That was like CGI right
I
there.
just can't wait for the next one where he's in it the whole movie.
I know.
They showed him at I don't want to say it because.
There is an Easter egg.
Spoil it.
I mean, they showed him like at the mid credits and like looking at the thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant. If that
Skynet
was
thing.
people coming back or what.
What is it supposed to be? Because John was talking it before. He was talking to the thing, and he's like, "I will not let anybody hurt you." When he had his hand on that thing.
I don't know what that
Could have
was.
been that child or another section or another offspring of that computer child, which, if you think about it, reminds you a little bit of how Mass Effect, the third Mass Effect. Because I was watching that scene, I'm thinking, they must have swiped this little tidbit from Mass Effect, the whole computerized child and all that.
Right. Well, from what I understand now, another thing I don't understand is if in the future there was a gun that killed the Terminator with one shot, right? Why couldn't they just send the designs back in their head or something to just rebuild those weapons in the past and just like wipe them out with one shot?
They explained that in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. You can't. They didn't send the plans. You could only send like one piece at a time over a long span of time.
Oh, okay.
You can't. Otherwise, they'd be sending weapons back from the future, and that would be It wouldn't really work well either because that would just screw up the timeline even more. Remember Terminator 2? Nothing. Like they had to destroy everything that would lead to Skynet and the Resistance. Everything.
Everything, I know. So I don't know where the hell to begin now because John Connor is dead. So it's like, what the hell do you do now?
I hated John Connor. I mean, he was like the perfect guy because he was like a total douche.
I don't know.
Techno-organic robot. Techno-organic cyborg.
I don't know about this John Connor. I mean, he's definitely dead, but it's just now I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, he hasn't been born yet, so...
Now another John Connor is gonna be born?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Could be a different actor too. Probably the same actor.
No.
No?
They wouldn't do that.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Jason Clarke was the...
Well, how does anybody feel about him Arnold getting the upgrade at the end?
I thought that was kind of smooth.
I really thought he was done, but then he like hit something and flew out.
Yeah, because he got thrown in that liquid,
Yeah, the liquid stuff in it.
grease stuff. He said because there wasn't like a little component in those, it just stays inactive.
I thought he was done, but when he flew in there, I was like, oh, he just got an upgrade.
Yeah, I knew he got upgraded as soon as he fell in that thing. He says the only way it would be it would work is if there was a chip and he had the chip. So yeah. But let me ask you a question now. Do you think a lot of people criticized this movie? They all hated it. I didn't hate it. I loved it. And
yeah, I enjoyed it.
They don't want another one to happen.
That's gonna happen.
What do you guys think? I mean, Mike D, what do you think? Do you think it should keep going on?
Well, you know, I mean, they're milking every other film franchise into garbage, so why not this one too?
No, but would you want to see one? Would you go see another two?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, there's films I haven't really given a crap about. I mean, that other people apparently have liked. Like, I haven't seen Jurassic Park, the latest one. I probably couldn't care less about seeing it, but you know, like this movie
was really
was
cool,
entertaining.
actually.
Yeah, this movie was entertaining, but it's like I see what they're doing. They're just regurgitating garbage out there more and more and more. They just happen to hit closer to the bullseye with this film than the others usually do.
I don't understand, like, why they had to reveal that John Connor was bad in the trailer. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That was actually, there was an interview with the director. The director did not want that to happen. That's just going to show that the director is not in charge of the trailers and TV spots being made. I guess the higher-ups were thinking, oh, this movie's going to be a dud anyway, so let's just do this for shock value to bring them in. When that backfired, and it backfired because people are like, well, we saw the twist, so why even bother?
Right, that was the whole point. Once I saw that in the trailer, I'm like, oh, what the hell is this going to be a surprise now?
Occasionally I watch this thing called AMC Theater. and the guy on there, they had a conversation about similar to this. A lot of times, the movie makers are not in charge of the trailer. They'll they'll stick something in, like the makers will stick something in. They don't know if that's going to be part of the ending scene or not.
Right.
So what we probably saw was somebody's interpretation of what the movie might be like.
Right. So what do you think? Don't you think the director should be able to look at the trailer before it's released?
Yes, I do. It's approved by the director. It's approved by the producer too.
But Mike, I'm gonna mute you for a second, okay? Because we're getting stuff from background.
Yeah, I asked her if she could keep it down a little bit. Apparently, she didn't hear me, and I don't know why. Because I mean, we've only been doing this like 2 years now, and she hasn't figured out to shut the fuck up when I'm on here. Thanks. I would appreciate that. For fuck's sake, for the millionth time. Thank you.
Alrighty then.
Well, let's see. That should be the end of that relationship.
Nah. All right. So.
No, she's smiling.
I know. Where the hell we go? No John Connor, Matt Smith.
Well, Matt Smith is the next one.
I mean,
I can't wait for that.
what are we gonna do now? I mean, nobody else coming back. That's it. They're gonna build different Terminator. I mean, one thing I don't like,
what sort of
right?
have in the next movie? They've had pretty much.
I don't like them keep making new Terminators that are just unstoppable.
This was like a T-3000 now.
Scott, what do you think of that? They keep coming up with these concepts for these Terminators that just can't be destroyed, and after a while, it's like annoying.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because that's what I'm trying to think. Is because they had that female one, they had the shapeshifter one, and they've got the Arnold one. And I'm trying to think of what's next. Well,
she was like a mist, right?
Well, what am I talking about? They've got the techno-organic one in this one, so there's no place they can go.
T-3000.
I think they need to stop with trying to make it better and just make it quantity. Make a whole bunch of them. I mean, that's
it was understandable when they went from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2, like from the Arnold Terminator to the T-1000, because that's like the natural evolution of machinery, that like the Skynet's upgrading itself. But then you're kind of jumping the shark here, because stop trying to outdo yourself. Like, there has to be a technological limit that Skynet has to reach.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you're making it unstoppable.
This one was like...
This guy was unstoppable.
They had to like put it in the time thing just to destroy it.
I know, that was like unstoppable. It was ridiculous. You know, and that, at least thank God they said that they can't be any more like that, because they all go insane. Because that Terminator was just way too unstoppable. You can't have that.
Maybe
nothing works.
Maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy will come and like be in the next film and.
Groot. I am Groot.
The Guardians of the Galaxy versus the Terminators. Make it happen, people.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'd like to see Rocket Raccoon.
Oh hell yeah!
Blowing some Terminator ass away.
Hell yeah!
Well, didn't you know Superman fought a Terminator?
Superman what? Fought a... Oh, well, yeah, the comics, right?
Yeah, and then he also fought the Xenomorphs from Alien.
Well, you can have, like, Rocket Raccoon, like, looking at the camera and saying, "Hasta la vista, baby," and blowing them away, Like, kind of a little dog.
I'm sure Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the next two.
Well, yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be back, but after that,
how Arnold
Cameron gets it back.
He was a robot. He would assume that he would say, "I will be back," but that was overridden by the director at the time. So.
Yeah.
And this time, instead of getting to the chopper, he was getting out of the chopper.
Yeah.
Out of the chopper.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do a thing on that.
Okay, if Arnold do another Terminator, do another Predator, how about combining those two then?
He should do another Predator.
Oh, wait, hold on. What if they combine Predator? Yeah, the Predator and Terminator franchises.
It all depends on who has the rights to what, really.
Well, think about it. Think about it like this. Skynet's taken over, Judgment Day's happened, then you have the Predator coming down because they're hunters by nature, so obviously they're looking for...
Or they're hiding.
The ultimate prey.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the rights. Like,
Yeah.
who has the rights? Do they want to merge the rights just to have the sequel or something, whatever?
I think it's gonna go
And
crazy.
again,
Well, the interesting thing is Stan Winston created both of those creatures, the Predator and
Right.
the Terminators. The late Stan
Well,
Winston.
right, so maybe they could have a crossover. I don't know. But we'll have another two, supposedly. I mean, we got the date set, 2017
It's gonna happen.
and 2018. Yeah, it's going to happen. Because you got to think of it this way. It's going to make its budget back, and it's going to have a profit. But I think what made this movie fail was not the critics, but the fact that they announced John Connor was like a merger of a robot. That's what killed it, like ruined it. And if I was a director, I'd be like flipping. Or somebody would be doing something with the company and saying, hey, you just freaking screwed this whole movie up.
No, you know what would have
You
been better? You know what would have been better? You could have put this for a shock factor, and it wouldn't have probably spoiled the movie. Just show that John was in the past with his mother. Just that.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah, that scene where he sees him do that whole little tracing out his timeline, that line on his hand. That would have been good.
That would
See, one thing I don't like though is I understand that Warner Brothers, did Matrix movies, I guess, and the Matrix effects is driving me nuts. Like that stuff is for the Matrix movies, not for Terminator. Like the John Connor get enveloped by that stuff is like Agent Smith taking over that guy, okay? And the helicopter going downward where the guy's like from the roof. That's like Matrix Revolutions or whatever. Like, I know the special effects. Same thing like in that I was pissed off about was Man of Steel. That stuff when he was fighting that thing, that was like Neo with the thing in Matrix Revolutions. I'm like, it's the same thing. So like, stop stealing your special effects from the Matrix. Do your own thing. Spend money on your own special effects because it looks exact. I mean, when Superman flew, it was the same effect as the Matrix movies. It happened first in the Matrix. And they stole it from that. So, like, just do your own special effects to make yourself, independent from that. Yeah. It's like, come on. So, again, I think it will pass the test and it will get another sequel. It's already greenlit anyway. You got to think of it this way. If they're going to make a sequel to Fantastic Four, which I think is going to be crap, and it's already scheduled.
Don't.
The sequel's already greenlit, even if it fails. They even say, "Hey, you know what? We don't care if it loses $300 million. We want X-Men versus Fantastic Four in the third one."
This group of young teens that were sitting a couple of rows behind me, they showed the Fantastic Four trailer, and I was kind of listening to hear what the reaction would be if there were any. And I heard one of these kids go, "God, that looks like crap." And they were like 15, or younger. It was kind of
Dr.
funny.
Doom is not a blogger.
You want to know also the thing that's going to make the Fantastic Four suck? Because this is following the same trend that Man of Steel. And you know what? I love the Dark Knight movies, but I hate what the Dark Knight movies have done to superhero films, where now everything that has to be done right now that isn't being done by Marvel has to be dark, has to be gritty.
Well, DC has to be so dark that you can't even see.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the desaturation.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
You believe you will. Like,
That was the only good part of that trailer.
well, come on. It's like, what do you like?
Yeah, the thing is that the Fantastic Four really haven't had a history of being dark. Okay, you know what? There's one moment where the Fantastic Four in any incarnation is dark, and I told Joe about this. That was in Ultimate Fantastic Four when they did the Marvel Zombies line.
And there's going to be a there's going to be a zombies movie too.
No, they're never going to do a Marvel Zombies movie, they said. Ever.
I thought
Ever.
No,
Because they said that that's crossing the line
that's true.
with the kids, because the kids will have nightmares and
Oh,
freak out that there's a Spider-Man eating somebody here or something.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay
never
if
do
Superman.
that, ever.
It's okay if Superman snaps some guy's neck.
Yeah. But
Well, that's I didn't agree with that at all. First of all,
You know what I also
you could have did something else. You could have jumped right in front of the heat beam and like either burnt his eye or something, or like zapped the thing back to his eyes like the heat beam, like they did in Superman 2, but only something would happen, you know?
Hey, you know what pisses me off is when people are saying, "Oh, you're okay with him killing Zod in Superman 2, but you don't like that he snaps on."
But yeah, he wasn't Superman yet.
No.
How long had he been?
He didn't kill him. He didn't kill him because if you actually watch the Richard Donner cut, the cut that actually mattered, you could see that Superman reversed time again, and they're locked back in the Phantom Zone. He didn't kill them, and I'm pretty sure he didn't even kill them in the theatrical cut. Why do you honestly think that the Christopher Reeve Superman, a man who has valued life, no matter good or evil, would really kill a depowered Ursa, Non, and Zod?
Oh,
No.
absolutely not.
Zack Snyder thinks
Absolutely.
differently.
Well, that's why Christopher Nolan's gone, by the way, because that was a decision that they just didn't listen to him, and he says, if you don't listen to me, and if you make Superman snap his neck, I'm done. I'm done with running your whole thing. And guess what? He left. Done. So, great job there. You lost Christopher Nolan.
No, the movie's gonna suck.
There you go. Just like Marvel pissed off Joss Whedon, where they kept trying to pick, you can't use Loki, you gotta use Idris Elba. You can't do this, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. And then it became like a revenge thing. With certain things he cut out of Age of Ultron, that when you're watching it, like, okay, Thor goes in a puddle when he has visions of Asgard. How does that make sense? It's like they didn't really explain it because he cut all the stuff that was supposed to make sense with that. And he said they cut the best Hulk.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why the last Spider-Man movie, half the reason why it failed. They had all these plans for Sinister Six, so they well, this is going to be safe for Sinister Six, so we can't use that. That's going to be safe for Sinister Six, so we can't use that. And if they had just given something of the Sinister Six stuff,
well, they did. They showed the Ultramarines
just
and
holding back so much because they want to do the whole stuff.
But they screwed up the Sinister Six because nobody liked Oscorp. They ruined the Green Goblin, so people were like associated failure with Oscorp, and they're like, well, if we do a sequel with Andrew Garfield, we can't use any villains connected with Oscorp. So who the hell do you have left? So that's where the problem lives, like a large. But anyway, let's get back to Terminator. What do you rate the movie, Mike D?
Out of 10, I'd give it like a maybe 7 to 8.
Okay.
8 might be pushing it to me, but somewhere.
Scott?
I'm gonna have to say an 8. Well, 7.5. Better yet, 7.5. But it was.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 8.5.
I think if the whole movie, if the whole movie were like the first half, I would give it an 8. But that's why I gave it like a 7.
No, you know what? I'm gonna change that rating because I really loved it. I don't care. Like certain things, I just really love. I'm gonna give it a 9. So, what do you think?
I said 7.
You said a 7? Okay. Really?
Why though? Why 9?
Because I really loved it. You don't like it as much as I
I did. But, I mean,
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, like if the first 2 films were like a 9 or 10, it wasn't at that level.
I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like now you're gonna have to go rate all of them. It's like I don't know. 1 and 2 I loved. They're like my favorites, and then this one's right up there with them.
Yes.
But I mean, of course, the other ones are I'll say an 8.5. I'll stay with that. That's what I'll say.
I mean, the first 2 I think are going to hold up as classics for decades. I think this is going to fall short of that, so that's why I don't.
This has been so smeared in the mud, no matter what, with the critics, and the fact that they screwed up with the John Connor reveal that it's never going to be.
It's the same thing with the last Star Trek movie. Everybody they wanted to keep.
Oh, the Convict
They
Massacre.
just revealed that was going to be Khan. That would have been all right, but of course we want to keep this a secret. But everybody figured. Everybody
lied too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's that. But as far as I'm concerned, I heard that it's still going on, the next Terminator, so that's good news to me, at least. You know. Now, one other thing, why don't we have a video game on this?
There was a video game for Terminator Salvation. Really, to be honest, there's not much you can do with the Terminator franchise to begin with, as far as a video game will go.
That's baloney. They could do something with a game. If they
Salvation
could make
was
a
cool.
game with Alien Isolation and Alien this and Alien that, and there's no movies out right now, they could do
There
a
were only
Terminator game.
2 Alien games. There were only... Okay, here are the games
The best Terminator game was Terminator vs. RoboCop or something. I remember that game. That game was great.
There's only been... Here are the games that have featured the Alien. The Alien vs. Predator game, which was good. I will say I enjoyed Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, it was pretty
There
cool.
was Aliens Colonial Marines, which was a total bomb. And never purchased that game ever. It's a disservice to the franchise entirely, and it's canon. And Alien Isolation, which was a good addition to the canon, and it is one of the best the best Alien video game I have ever played. With the with a horror icon like the Alien, you can actually do a good game with that, as Alien Isolation has shown us. What can you do with the Terminator except for a shoot?
Shoot them.
That's pretty much it. And shooters, shooters may be entertaining, but what can they give us in the way of a good story? That's the problem. They can't. Very few shooters can give us a good story. Halo is probably one of the few examples that has a deep narrative that you can actually enjoy.
Right.
You can't
All right.
narrative from the movies over to the game and have it work.
All right, that's going to conclude the Everything Show 375 on Terminator Genisys. We'll be back with another podcast following this one. Take care. Bye for now.